Let's see which one of these 4 competitors is the gold medal winner.
My favorite phrase in marriage is, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Because those are the choices, my friends. Being married means that you can't communicate to your wife in the same way that I would communicate to other people. If we get in a debate early on in our marriage, if I would start getting into an argument, she'd be like, stop going into debate mode. You need to stop it right now. Sure, I could destroy my wife with facts and logic, but how is that going to redound to either of our benefits?
In other words, Ben Shapiro believes in the phrase, happy wife, happy life. I get the feeling that in his household, when there are no cameras on him, that his wife gets her way most of the time.
Getting married is also not an achievement in and of itself, any more than a birthday is an achievement. Well, it's a little more of an achievement than a birthday. At least you have to get someone to marry you. So and for some people in particular, for me, that was an achievement in and of itself, and quite a shock for everyone else. But that's not the point. Wedding celebrations are not meant to be celebrations of achievements. They do wedding celebrations in cultures with arranged marriages. And for thousands of years, basically every marriage was in effect arranged. And they still had weddings because it's not about personal achievement. The wedding celebration is a celebration of the formation of a new thing. It's a sending off. In essence, it's a farewell and a welcoming all in one. That's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it, that's where it finds that's what makes it sacred.
What it is a woman's celebration of her ability to screw over her husband in the future.
So what's the point of marriage?
I think that the point of marriage is, it's to create a union. It's supposed to be you are submitting to your husband's authority and you're creating a family.
And creating a family.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's forming a union
Mm-hmm.
with certain roles and, a structure, and to create a family.
And do you think that's how it's being used today for the average person? For the average person?
Yeah, it forms a union. It creates a family.
The average marriage is 7 years.
Yeah, but it's a union.
But
I think there's more to marriage than you described, but I think that those are some basics.
The average marriage is 7 years.
Right, but that still forms a union and often creates a family. That's what you're talking about, the struggles.
Right, but it's supposed to be for life, not for now.
I agree.
And that's what I say. It's not about what ought to be. It's about what is today. And right now, a man cannot have children in this country and not be signed up for the state contract. So
that's always been true.
But my point is, why can't we change the laws first?
Because we live in time and space, and you'll die alone without having had kids and without having
the
joys of a family.
Why? You guys are one of the most influential media networks.
We are.
And
we're very persuasive, very powerful.
You guys are.
And yet we're not changing the divorce laws. Try as we might. It hasn't happened.
No, but you guys barely cover it.
I talk about it all the time. What are you talking about? I talk about marriage on my show probably every single day.
Right, but when we talk about specifics, I was talking about the tender years doctrine.
Yeah.
It's like even in California.
Sure,
if a woman lies about paternity of the child and it's not found out before the age of 2, that man's on child support for life, even though that woman committed fraud. And these are real things that happen in this country.
The man is on if the father doesn't discover that he's not really the father.
Yeah.
Because he's acting basically as like a duped adoptive father or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again.
Because the way the laws are is it goes in the best interest of to the child, which generally means the best interest of the mother.
Right, but you do not need to convince me that the divorce laws are dreadful.
Right.
What you do need to convince me of is that men ought not to be married until the laws are changed.
It's not a union, Michael. It's a government contract that gives a woman all of the leverage in a marriage.
Because you're growing up with a woman.
Yes.
I married my wife like most people marry their wife because she was hot, she was beautiful, she was fun, she was smart, she was all those things that really attracted. But it wasn't till about 10 years after we had been together when I started to think like, Oh, like for the first 10 years, I was thinking, well, of course, she has no capacity for reason. I don't understand a word she said. But then I kept noticing that she was right a lot of the time when she, and I couldn't understand it. And I started to think, oh, she's actually seeing the world from a different point of view. And that is like putting on those red and blue glasses that suddenly turn the world into 3 dimensions. You suddenly become one flesh, one person, and you see things in a new and deeper and richer way. And that, to me, transforms everything.
In other words, Andrew married his wife in order to get regular access to her vagina, which is a mistake that many men in America make. The time has now come for my pick for the gold medal winner. In third place, I pick Matt Walsh. In second place, I pick Andrew Clavin. And in the top spot, drum roll please, Ben Shapiro. Do you agree with my picks? Let me know in the comments below.